This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kaelan Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
Hello.
Hello.
Max is back, everyone.
Hi.
From popular demand. From my flooded DMs. Bring back Max.
Flooding DMs. I'm good. I went to Kylie last night, so I'm...
And you look fresh as a daisy.
You know.
And I'm going tonight, so we're tag teaming Kylie.
Tag teaming Kylie.
Yeah.
I think most of Melbourne is tag teaming her over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's a whole Kylie gangbang.
We weren't going to do it, and then God bless Tixel. We're like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Night before, book
It's
a little
great.
cheeky tick.
It's great.
Did she look good? Because I've heard some gays are saying
I know.
that she looks cheap.
So
I'm just going to put that there.
I disagree. I will defend our Kylie with my last breath. Also, she's like, how old is she?
Exactly. She's not
50
something.
now?
I don't know.
Like, what
She's
are you expecting?
ageless. She's fucking Kylie.
What are you expecting, like, her to do? Like, she's not,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen her a few times. The show was great. I don't know. I think also people's expectation of spectacle goes up and up and up. And I think that's unrealistic for what good entertainment is, because she had great crowd rapport. She sung.
Oh, she's a great performer.
She has so many hits as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So I'm a Kylie fan. So yeah.
Well, back in the day, I never was. I think like growing up in Australia, gay, you always try and be like, oh, Kylie, she's whatever, because you don't want to be like that stereotypical gay.
You don't want to be
of course
bullied.
you like Kylie.
You don't want to be bullied in the playground for your Kylie poster.
Exactly. And then I went and saw her live, and that was when I was like, okay, I get it now. She has earned her title.
So in inverse of that, for me, so I think Fever came out when I was like 16, and it was very formative for me as well, because I was like, you know, feeling gay and feeling that on the inside. And then this album came out where, like, you know, you were kind of shamed a bit for liking it. And I was like, no, if this is wrong, I don't want to be right. And I'm like, Kylie, that album really made me be like, yeah, being gay is fun.
That was a whole thing, like in high school, wasn't it? Like, what kind of music do you like? And you had to like pretend.
I was such like all my friends were like into like emo stuff and like metal and like
the phases were phasing.
And I would like, you know, listen to their Korn mixtape and be like, yeah, that's fine, whatever, and then put on Kylie.
Yeah. I was like an Evanescence girly.
I can see
and
that
then,
for you.
Yeah. But then, but I was
feelings.
all over the place. Yeah. Like J-pop.
Oh,
and
nice.
Like, and then like, oh God, what else? I don't know. But I had two answers, like depending on who I was talking to.
Do you want to be interesting or do you want to be cool?
Yeah. Or like honest. But I like nowadays it's like, you know, you go after that.
And it's also been like just generally a great like year, 22 years for pop music as well. Like there's some new people in the mix. It's mixing it up. So yeah, I'm excited.
You're right. Pop music no longer has the stigma it once had.
Yeah, or if it does, I don't care about it as much anymore.
Maybe it does and we just don't care. Who knows? Oh my God. And White Lotus kicked off this week.
Yes.
You caught up?
I am thrilled. HBO love an incest storyline. Clearly, they're
my
teeing it
God.
up straight away. I was like,
I'm here. I was
like, this is like it's not even subversive.
No.
It's not even like it's like it's
straight up porn, and
yeah.
I'm here for it. Thank you, Mike White. I love going online and seeing the polarized response to this, which is heaven. It's either people are really into it,
or
or
that's
they're
mostly gay men,
or they're disgusted by it and they are throwing holy water at their screen. So I'm loving that it's already dividing the crowd.
And I think there's other divisive elements in there that are overshadowed by the incest, like Parker Posey's accent, which goes all around America.
Parker Posey is having her Jennifer Coolidge moment, and I'm here for
I
it. But you're right,
her.
the accents were...
I loved it. It was so over the top. It was like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. Where has
meets,
she
like,
been?
Steel Magnolias.
She's lived 1,000 lives.
Yeah.
That character's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Pill popping
my
already.
hot pick that I saw in a tweet, so I'm stealing someone else's thing, is that the gunshots at the start.
Monkeys. See, I'm not making this up. I literally said that during the show.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I've gone online and everyone else is
'Cause I
saying
think
that.
it's-
So it's not a
it's-
hot take. But
I think because I also think like maybe it won't be, but it's that he loves to do unexpected things leading into that moment, and I think that would fit the bill, and that's why we're all tuned in to it. And there's so many shots of the monkeys being like
it's
creepy
monkey.
little people.
They even like highlighted the monkeys. That
Yeah.
first scene, it was like, oh, reminds me of Hawaii, but with monkeys.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the monkey was above her, and she was worried about
Yes.
snakes. Like, yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
It's
And
been fun.
well, the
Yeah.
new intro.
Yeah.
Are you missing the?
I'm not missing the blah, blah, at all. Some people are losing their mind over it. I'm like, guys, I actually think it's better.
Yeah,
That's my
I think.
view on that.
But also, it's like it's distinctly trying to show you that they're discrete story. Yes, there's connectivity in characters, but they're discrete like instances.
their worlds.
Yeah,
Because I love Thailand.
Yes.
So much. It's
You're
the
an
gayest,
Australian.
It's the gayest place on earth. It's the best place to be. Like, it's like flawless. I love Thailand. So I'm really happy it's there. I'm obviously
There's no
living
Australian.
for Lisa.
That is a casting blip to me from an American point of view.
Oh,
Is
no,
that I would
Aussie backpack. Like, not backpacker, but like Aussie tourists.
Aussie
vibes.
tourists
Well, because they're all
should
staying
pop
at
up
somewhere
in there.
better. They're not wasting their money at some rich
Yeah,
hotel.
that you
they're,
don't
they're at a
leave.
villa.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
fuck with like
Only-
like Americans are so obsessed with branded hotels. They're like,
Yes.
I'm a Four
Yes.
Seasons gay or whatever. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So you only go to places where like that is like,
And
how sad for you.
and it's like it's facing inward. They're like they're not going to go out and do as many things and that kind of stuff. For
I'd
sure.
love there to be like a points storyline. Like someone rocks up and they're like, I'm staying. I've redeemed
The cheap bitch.
yeah. She's like, I did a points scam.
I won a point lottery.
Yes, like Bonvoy points
Love,
or
love,
whatever.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I think as an intro episode, it was darker than
Yes,
the last two.
yes.
The last two were a little bit silly and camp at the start.
Yeah.
This one is going straight in with dark shit is coming.
And the tensions are there from the onset too. Whereas like particularly last season as well, like it was building with relationship stuff and like, you know, sex and tension and attraction. Whereas this time
Tension too.
bringing it full circle back to Kylie, but like all of the wheels for things falling apart are already in motion much more at the end of this episode.
Yeah, it's like all gonna break down momentarily.
Spectacularly.
I can't wait.
With a monkey killing everyone.
It better be that. Or, yeah, poor Mike White if that is the case and we all figured it out straight away.
That's right.
But also,
I mean,
it's hard to
it's
write
super
unexpected
successful
shit these
show,
days.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And people are so obsessed with it now that they are looking for Easter eggs and things. So it's
Totally.
like, calm down, everyone. Just enjoy
It's
it.
not a true crime podcast, okay? Everyone wants to be a true crime podcaster even when they consume
They do.
media. Or the opposite, they want to be on their phones so that every time someone walks into a scene, they restate the exposition every time they come in.
And people want to be clever. Like, I picked up this and no one else did. It's like, all right. You watched a show.
You watch a show
Well
and made
done.
a guess. Tick.
You won't get any witchy commentary on this podcast. You'll just get me being a cunt. All right. And speaking of, let's get into this week's episodes of
Delicious.
Australian Survivor.
Australian Survivor.
She's back. She's Brains v Brawn 2.
Yeah.
Much like Tension 2.
So, I have thoughts on Brains versus
Okay.
Brawn.
Speak on it.
So, I feel like most iterations of Australian Survivor end up being some form of Brains v Brawn, and they just
Nerds
rebrand
v
it.
Jocks. Yeah, it should just be Nerds v
And
Jocks.
it does trigger my like high school nerd being bullied experiences a lot, because Australian Survivor also brings out a lot of mateship and stuff early on, and I'm always like, ugh,
Not
this
the
is
M word.
No.
But yeah, there's Aussie mateship every
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, but I was so pleasantly surprised with these first 3 eps.
These people are fucking insane. Like,
Some of them,
what?
I was like, did they audition for a different reality
Like
TV show and
MAFS.
end up here? Yeah,
They are
MAFS, Big
MAFS level
Brother,
crazy.
Like, I was like, what is happening?
Thank you, 10, casting department, chef's kiss. You've managed to find like 24 people that all want to be the next King George, which
Yeah.
is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, everyone is scrounging for a soundbite. Everyone
Screen
is
time.
like,
It's the screen
yeah.
time wars,
And-
honey.
And everyone, like, I don't know, they were giving everyone was giving their A game,
Yeah.
which also actually did mean that there were some people that for the first 3 episodes I didn't see. And Australian Survivor always has that problem of the blonde girl because there's like 6
Which
of them.
one? Yeah.
There's 6 of them. And you're like, is it that
Charlene
one?
and
Is it
Shirlene
that one?
and Marlene. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the traitors at this point. Like, honestly, they are. The gameplay is gone, which, look, listeners to this pod will know that I can take or leave the gameplay. I'm not a
like the
gamer.
drama.
To quote Carolyn, I'm not a gamer. I'm here for the drama. Give me crazy people. So
Drama and Speedos.
Yeah, drama and fucking speed. Which, okay, so for episode 1, I was like, there is a severe lack of man candy this season. However, episode 2, I was like, oh, there's hot dads. It's the season of hot dads.
Yeah. Dads on the beach.
It's dads
on tour.
the beach. PD.
Yeah.
Woof, mate.
Yeah.
He looks like a retired rugby player, slight dad bod, but still got it down there. Fucking hell.
Doesn't he coach soccer and used to play soccer? I don't know.
We haven't met him
They're always
properly
no,
yet.
we haven't had their intros.
But I've seen him in those Speedos.
Delicious.
I mean, and then there's like Jesse, the like skater dad.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're like none of them on their own are like stunners, but collectively it's
They're
like
a
a coven
group
of
of
hot
little
dads.
hotties.
And then
Yeah.
there's the actual coven as well.
Which I was living for. Witchy me with my black nails.
Yeah.
Her intro was just missing that song from the start of Charmed. There was like a blue filter. She was flipping the tarot. There was a moon. Like they
couldn't get
CG'd
the
the
rights.
moon in. It was
Her clip package was great.
I'm a bit woo-woo, but I also find stuff like that hilarious in reality TV.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes the core of their personality. And obviously her being a witch is a big part of the storyline that the producers are like, yes. But I think she's shown a bit of gameplay and savviness already, except wanting to save Rich, who, like...
Can we just jump straight to it?
Yeah.
Rich, what the fuck, mate?
So...
Can you just
talk about misogyny?
take a deep breath?
Misogyny red flags. His first talking head was like, "Oh, my fiance says I'm the king of gaslighting." Blah 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 blah, and he was like saying
It's
it like
MAFS.
I'm good at talking, like talking stories and being charismatic. I was like, so being good at gaslighting isn't a quality trait.
Also, brains.
Yeah, questionable.
Sure, you've like figured out a way.
He's
like,
got lots of charisma.
Yeah.
but it's the kind of charisma where he's like really big and gregarious, so people respond to.
Yeah.
But then he puts a lot of people offside because the ladies do not.
the ladies do not like
man.
him, and he's like dripping with like Me Too energy. Like he's a film director.
But
Come
it's
on.
like even so. Obviously, they can pick and choose what they want. But there was times where like he was talking over like particularly in the tribal council and stuff like that,
And they were like, I actually think that Logan was speaking. Yeah, that
and
was
no,
heaven.
I was like, so if you're doing that in like
Yeah.
a public setting with like JLP direct, like an authority figure that's asked someone else a question and you're just stepping in, what are you doing back at camp?
Yeah.
When like people are just having discussion, are you just talking over them, ignoring them, bitching about building a
Yeah.
better shelter? Ugh.
JLB is yet to enter the chat. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
Like
know.
he made like a few fun like there's the
Pole
the pole gags
and heavy snakes.
The heavy snakes. When I saw those props, I was like, oh fuck off.
Heavy
The-
snake. But-
dragging the
But
heavy
they did
snake
a nut-
through the
They did
flap.
a coconut slingshot, and he didn't say busting nut. Like
There
last
was
year
no busting nuts.
nut after nut after nut, and you're like, yes,
You
you could put them all together and have a little porn, like a porn soundtrack.
Busting
of
nut
JLP.
after nut is iconography.
Yeah, just the best.
But yeah, the pole. I did appreciate sliding their
Yeah,
pole into
in
the
the
slot.
slot.
I was like, thanks, mate.
I know,
He's
I know.
arrived. But yeah, still a little sleepy warm up for JLP. Maybe he doesn't want to overshadow all the cast of characters.
I did a deep dive in preparation for this podcast. in
JLP's
that, no, because I'm a legitimate journalist and I know how to use Google. He
I'm
hasn't worn Speedos. I think it's a travesty.
JLP's never worn Speedos?
No.
We need to have that.
I know.
We need to
Channel 10,
sort that
are you
out.
listening?
Yeah. Oh my God, I do need to circle back to something.
Sorry,
on the
sorry.
previous episode with Shane Nicholas, we went over the cast.
Yeah.
And at the start of the episode, I mentioned that our good friend Robert Irwin of I'm a Celebrity fame
Yes.
needs to be involved in a No Loads Refused orgy. To which I stand by. And of course, a lot of thirsty gays responded to this part. My DMs were flooded. And one gay, whose identity I shall keep secret, wrote in going, "Hey, I once was at an airport in Perth and Robert Owen took a piss next to me." And so I wrote back, "Well, go on then.
Yeah.
Give us the deets."
Don't lead it. Don't lead a horse to water.
Give
Let us
the
drink.
deets. And the deets were allegedly quite thick and cut and big on the flop.
Oh.
So thank you to that lovely listener for writing in for the
That
Robert
is
Owen dick
the
pics.
hard-hitting journalism that we're here for.
Exactly. And this
Great.
is what my listeners come here for.
It's,
But
it's no load refused orgy content.
with that out of the way, should we get into night one?
Yeah.
The intro was good. Oh my God, the bus. So it was like
I-
nerds on the bus and like jocks have to run beside the bus.
I did not like the bus. I was like, this is a bad choice. And now it's in slow-mo at the start of every episode. And I'm like, it looks
The intro is
naff-town.
long. Like, I love the intro, but it is
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, yeah.
But they cut it down, don't they? Later on in the season, they just show like who's left.
I think
so.
I think so. The Australian casts are always so...
Huge.
From my coffee. Always so big that like it feels like an entity unto itself in the Survivor landscape because the gameplay is different and the personality mix is a lot different and they form coalitions.
Yes.
Whereas in the American one, the intro is faster.
Everything.
Everything's faster.
It's so American. They're like, we're just cutting the fat. We're like, what is it? It's like 26 days
Yeah.
now. Are you
And
still
everyone
watching
gets-
US or
No,
not?
no,
Yeah.
no.
People are dropping off.
I phase in and phase out. I will definitely come back strong
For 50.
Which isn't there going to be later this year the
Oh,
international Australia versus
the world. We're definitely excited for that. That's
they
with
stole
JLP,
that.
though.
They stole the title from Drag Race.
They totally did. But I think Drag Race stole it from some other UK show that's been doing that forever. It's the
right.
versus the world is a very UK reality format thing
Yes.
that they've been doing forever. So I don't
Right.
know. I don't think RuPaul came up with that.
Oh damn it!
Yeah.
Me defending RuPaul.
Because even like Lego Masters did it. Was it they did
Ah.
Australia versus the world. Not that I watched that show, but I just remember seeing it and I was like, oh,
You're
okay.
aware of the reality
I'm aware
landscape.
that
as a
Lego
podcaster.
Masters exists as a show. And to that I say, okay. But we meet Morgan first. Hottie. Olympian.
Legs for days.
Legs.
I straight away I was like, she's gonna get a campaign after this. She's gonna she's gonna be on some Australian brands.
Yeah.
She was gorge. Although she did say as an Olympian, which I
As an Olympian.
I was like,
Okay,
no,
you get one of those.
like,
You get one of those.
as of a, like I just that phrase just generally gives me the ick.
She should just
but
say
then
as a hot
but then-
bitch.
but as her little talking head continued, I was like, oh no, I'm for you 100%.
Oh, I'm
But
here for her.
You threw me far offside with as an Olympian.
We got lots of her in the lead up to the season, and then she's not really like a prominent character this week, but I feel like it's coming.
I think, it's that thing of to play, I don't know, analytical reality TV person.
edgic.
It's when they get talking heads that aren't contributing to the episode. You're like, oh, so we're learning about you now because something
Later
significant
on.
is going to
Yep.
happen. Because I felt Noonan, like I really liked Noonan
Noonan.
straight away. Although when Noonan was like, I'm going to be the most famous Noonan.
Who is your family? Noonan
I
Riding.
googled serious
please,
journalist.
enlighten me.
So
Who is-
I
who is she?
read on the Survival Wiki. So in her home community, her family's really well known, particularly her brothers. So she's the only girl of like 3 older brothers.
Are they sports people?
One's a jockey. One's
Okay, not what I was expecting.
Not what you were expecting. One's I think her dad's a famous horse trainer. Anyway, so really famous in the local community. So I think she's grown up with that thing being like, oh, you're the Noonan girl, or maybe they have a girl. Like I was like, there's a chip on the shoulder here that isn't fully stepped out, because I was expecting her family to be like really famous, like sports people.
They are treating it like a fucking Hemsworth is on the show, the Hemsworth sister, and I'm like.
But she was,
honey.
She was great. She was she gave great side eye back at camp several times.
She's the confessionalist of the season.
I was like every now and then someone would say something and she'd be in the foreground and she'd just like look at the camera. Delicious. I love it.
Then we meet Zen.
Oh my God.
Holy, like, perfection. This is great casting. He tells us that he is a very white hip hop artist, and he has just learnt the words acumen and sublime.
So he was saying that he has the smarts that he could have been on the Brains tribe, and then his then his receipts for that was that he learns new words a day,
which you should be doing if you're writing rap lyrics.
Yeah, totally.
Have you heard any of the stuff?
No,
I haven't deep dived yet.
I heard what he did on the beach.
What did he do on the beach?
He did a little rap on the beach. And they were all like, oh.
The Speedos, though.
Delicious.
Thank you, sir.
He's eating his chicken and broccoli, and he's missing his chicken and broccoli and scales on the beach. He was complaining about food a lot.
Yeah, but he's like, these muscles aren't. Actually, he's got a really high pitched voice, which I love.
Yeah,
he's like, these muscles aren't painted on. They're for real. They're heavy lifting. Like he's like trying to say they're not glamour muscles.
Yes,
he's like.
And one thing that was really interesting for me. Is that the slow intro of the Brawn tribe when they were like leaping in the river and
he jumps in a waterfall.
He jumped in the waterfall, and I think someone else did as well. I was like, what is this like B-roll Lululemons? Like it was. I was like, instead of like dumping them on a boat and pushing them off like they often do in American Survivor and get them to swim to shore, they took them through the rainforest for a while for a day before shooting.
Like, hop in. Yeah, I like those little shots. They're cute.
You just liked him in his sweatshirt.
I did. Then we meet Miles, who is my favourite character on this season so far. I'm just going to say that.
Kooky.
He is a pole dancing, D&D playing, spreadsheet freak. He's a freak in the sheets, as he said. I'm obsessed with Miles. A++ for casting. I want to hang.
Yeah, I think Miles brought a really good energy that was disturbing. Everyone's under the radar. Because I think that's the thing about some of these personalities this season, is that it's meant that under the radar people's feathers have been getting ruffled, and they've had to speak out about people talking about gameplay or like being duplicitous. And Miles is definitely bringing that. And I think he clearly just loves the game, so he wants to talk about the game. Yeah. But he was also talking about things that were like, so when we get to merge, it's like, baby, it's day one on the beach. Don't talk about merge yet. Like,
he is. Okay, so they tried to like cobble together a little package of him like talking strat too much. Yeah. Which I was like, yeah, sure. But like only Kent, who we'll get to you. Don't you worry, mate. We're coming your way.
My one text to you this week about the episodes was like, the hat, I have thoughts.
Yes. Yes. But only Kent is like the real one leading this charge against Miles. Everyone else is like, sure, like
he's a bit annoying.
He's copped a few votes, but not like people aren't that annoyed.
I think that's also showing the difference between what women find annoying, which is misogyny, and what men find annoying, which is like
feminine men.
Yeah.
Or like, you know,
non-macho.
Yeah.
It was funny watching them be like all macho on the beach throwing the coconut like they were playing
busting
football.
Nut after nut.
Busting nut after nut. The women in the camp were working around the four of them just
crazy.
I was like, what is like
that scene was amazing.
It was giving shitty sharehouse vibes.
Yes. There was a few questionable moves by men this week. Like later on when Kent just like takes a little nap instead of strategizing. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's also like
little nap?
It was really easy for someone to point out that it was disrespectful and get him voted out. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
It would have been, you know, sometimes it in Survivor, you just need like one action for someone to be bitchy and clever enough to get a hook in. That I was like, that is like prime meat.
But these people, this cast are all there to make big moves from day one, which is great. But also it means that like the pre-tribal runaround is wild.
All three
episodes
were
wild.
Didn't make sense for early game. And
yeah.
I would also argue, just like the term blindside, big moves is thrown around when
Sue's big move.
like these terms, people need a dictionary. Survivor producers, give them a dictionary and wrap them over the knuckles if they're saying big moves or blindside when it is not those things.
Yeah. True. How did you feel about Max, the teacher?
Straight away, he is giving like naughty puppy that you adopt from the pound vibe. Like he's just really energetic. They almost gave him a clowny intro when the wave hit him.
Yes.
It was just missing, like, but it almost needed the clowny music. But because they didn't give it to him, they're like, this is our larrikin. Watch him shine.
Yeah, I can imagine being in a workplace with him. You would be like, mate,
he's a kindy teacher. Like he teaches the littleies. He teaches the littleies.
Okay, good.
So he has
the right
weird
energy
wiggle
for that
energy.
job.
He has like the wiggles.
Yeah,
like
jury's out for me. I personally think I would find his energy rather annoying.
Yeah,
but sure, he's cute. I like his vibes.
I liked his hat.
Yeah, I like the hat. The hat was like adding to his personality.
Yeah,
which obviously Kent was just like not feeling.
Yeah, he was jealous of the hat. He did.
Fucking
He wanted.
hell.
He. Yeah, that was. I can't. Sorry, I'm roadblocked by my eye rolled disgust of
Like,
how
what-
stupid it was.
Like doing the hat burning was dumb enough anyway, but clearly, and it's been done before.
But also, like I was like, so what's the play here? You're
television.
He
was making television.
and that's what I was like. I was making jokes on the couch. I was like, he's a multimillionaire. It was mentioned.
Not here for the money.
If I'd known he was going to say it so many times, I would have tallied it, and I didn't. But I think it was like we're at 4, maybe more, upwards of 4.
Yeah.
And for him to do that, I was like, did he like have the producer said you will only come on the show if you do something very nefarious on day 1? And then he was like, okay,
Probably.
yeah,
They could
right?
have put him up to like, what about like
Burning the hat.
Just chucking it. But then revealing it in the way that he did. He's like, yeah, and I did it because Miles is shit and it will hate Miles here. And they're all like, sorry?
Yeah. And it made him look like an idiot. And straight away the girls,
I like
the Coven were
red
like,
flag.
what
Yeah.
is like
Don't
that?
fuck with the
and
Coven,
and
mate.
some of them were like, that is psychotic behavior. And straight away when he did it, I was like, this is a bully. Like,
Yeah.
And wouldn't the smarter play have been, like, if the hat's pissing you off, throw it down the beach and then be the one to find it a few days later and be the hero returning to camp and have a new best friend in Little Max?
Exactly. Anyway,
Stupid.
the tribes enter. JLP says, there's only one crown. And I was like, what show is this?
Drag
I was like, it's like A Crown and Scepter by Fierce Drag Jules. And they get straight into a challenge, but it's for like fire making stuff and like an axe and a machete and some bananas.
So, do you think they have an OH&S issue because they all had fires given to them this year?
Yeah, I just thought that whole point, I was like, okay.
No,
I don't care about the fire logistics.
In the season where George came back and smashed his face first episode,
Yes.
and then someone broke their collarbone? Wasn't there like litigation-y
villains, I
stuff?
think.
Yeah, there was like they were in trouble for that because they meant to like test that everything's safe, and 2 people fucking axed
Face
themselves
planted.
on day 1.
Yeah, definitely they've looked into that.
And they're like, we'll give you fire now. Please don't sue us.
They have to retrieve this key. It's like 6.5 meters in the air. Someone from Brains just like throws. Is it AJ? Someone throws like a bag at it. And
No, it was Max. He got in trouble
Max,
for
that's
it.
Right.
He got in trouble.
And they were all like, "Go."
So I have two thoughts on this. Is their stick was so flimsy they couldn't hit it at first, and then Brawn were getting really close because they did the cheerleader thing, which I said straight away. I was like, "Fuck the sandbags, just get on the tall bitches' shoulders and do your cheer squad pyramid."
Yeah.
I keep burping from my coughing. Apologies. And he saw them winning, and brains were miles away. I was like, it's ballsy to try something. It's better than just like just letting them win.
Yeah, I think everyone was like, because their first challenge, everyone's like trying to show that they're useful and stuff. Paulie, friend of the pod, Paulie, almost gets the key, but his pole was rather limp.
Yeah.
I must add. If only it was a fisting challenge, and maybe he would have taken the crown.
I think both sides at one stage had these like tiny little twigs on the end, and I was like, "What's that going to achieve?"
It was like me at 3 a.m. in the bathrooms with a stranger at the Peel trying to have a sword fight, but everyone's on
and
like
it's just
pills,
a turkey slap,
and it's like, yeah, it was that.
Sea slugs, making sea slugs.
I'm loving Paulie this week.
Yeah.
We need that like fierce, like Sydney gay energy, and we've got it. Yeah,
absolutely. Paramedic as well.
Have you ever met a straight paramedic? I have not.
There's a lot of gay ones. They're all hot because they save lives.
Yeah,
they're
hot.
Capable. They're smart. Because that's the other thing about when he was on Brawn. He's on Brawn, right?
Yes. He's on
I was
Brawn.
like, this is a brainy bitch as well.
It's a brawny job, I guess, because you're like, it's a very physical. Yeah. Physically demanding job. It's almost like being like a fireman, right?
Yeah.
A fire person. But he is here to play.
Yeah.
But I think his social game is good too, because he's kind of playing it cute.
He's got a little coterie of people around him as well. Like him and Noonan are really tight. They were really tight with Candy.
Candy, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I was so devo.
She was so cute and little.
She was also so cute.
They get rid of the littlies sometimes really early, and then there's challenges later on where they could just literally throw them over things. Yeah.
I was living in this challenge for DJ Kate, who was wearing jeans as a top.
I mean,
her
denim on denim. When she came on her talking head, I was like, what is she wearing in the jungle?
I squealed. I was like, who is this bitch?
She's channeling Justin and Brittany back in the 2000s in the double denim outfit. It was mind blown. Mind blowing. And she's a dancer and DJ. Like the fact that it's both, the fact that it has dancer / DJ in her little Chiron thing. I'm always like,
it's so good. It's giving like Paris Hilton, that kind of DJ.
Yes.
Yeah, so good. Brawn takes out this first challenge.
Rightfully so.
And then we kind of get a little bit more about Noonan. She's a fangirl.
Knows the game.
We meet our fisting fanatic Paulie, who's 30-something from Sydney. Noonan wants to fuck Zen, I reckon.
Because she was embarrassed, but not embarrassed by the rapping.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's like a big Hulk. He's a big hulking guy.
He's hot. He looked small. He looked like a little shorty.
No, but then when he was standing around the crew.
Was he tall?
I don't know.
I don't really see height very much because I'm not a tall guy. So everyone's tall. He's like throw him around vibes.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just my fantasy of Zen.
While he raps.
Captain Eyebrows, Nash. Fucking hell. So Channel 10 really wanted us to focus on Nash in this first episode. And to that I say, sorry.
We had to. Yeah.
No.
Yuck.
Not for me.
And Noonan called it Nash the Rash. I was like, yes. He's
good.
Everywhere on my TV screen. But I also found finding an idol straight away kind of cool. Like, but also everyone else is building fucking shelter.
Yeah.
And you did that straight away. And then deciding to show everyone as well.
The peacocking around with the idol was a choice.
But everyone was ignoring it because no one really knows what they look like or knows what he looked like. If I saw that around his neck, maybe in a glancing moment, I'd be like, oh, has he been wearing that ugly thing the whole time?
Yeah.
And then being upset, like he was clearly put out that people weren't noticing. It was so awkward. Talk about cringe. It was cringe.
But I love just the soundbite of, I got an idol 5 minutes into the game. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Just
plucked it out of a tree. Like, good on him.
Absolutely.
But then the strategy of like wearing it around your neck was stupid. But again, it was giving MAFS.
It's giving MAFS. It's giving MAFS. It's giving like attention seeking. And he was talking about how it was such good gameplay. And I was like, on what planet is any of this strategic? Also, Zen was like, I didn't see him grab it, but he showed me straight away. Like, what?
He's trying to be like Ferris or like King George, but with
Really gregarious player.
Yes, but he lacks the charisma of those people.
Yeah. He seems a little slimy and duplicitous in that, like, when he's like, I'm a salesman, I can sell ice to Eskimos and all this kind of stuff. And because that happened a few times throughout these eps where he was like, I'm really good at
car salesman.
when he, what did he say going into immunity? He said, I'll do the puzzles because the heat is really getting to me, this climate. And they're like, well, are you good at puzzles? And he's like, yeah, I am good at puzzles. And then proceeded to not be good at puzzles.
That was great. Over at Brains, we get the witchy intro.
Love.
Laura. So
Tarot.
Obsessed with Laura.
High Priestess.
She's so good. I'm actually backing Laura because I've chosen her as my winner pick in the buff comp over on the previously on Australian Survivor podcast.
Nice.
Shout out to those girlies. So if she wins, I will win a buff from the show. So I hope she fucking wins.
I think she has longevity. For sure. She has a gimmick. She's very clued in. And I think people will overlook her potentially because already she's been really strategic, but not, at least what we're seeing, no one's talking about how strategic she's been.
She can read those auras.
Yeah.
She read
polka dots.
Miles has got a polka dot aura, and I was like, yes, he does.
Yes. Polka dots and clicky clacky heels.
And that's when we're kind of introduced to the Coven, which is 10 out of 10.
Peak alliance name. It's been a great 12 months for witches. We had Agatha all along. Like it's been a great time. Great year to be a witch. And then now we have and obviously I forgot the other match witchy
Oh
thing.
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And even on this show, we have a good witch and a bad witch.
Yeah.
Who we find out about later. Indy.
Yeah.
Is practicing witchcraft or threatening to practice witchcraft. Which was wild.
So I bless Indy in many ways because clearly the pressure was getting to her straight away. But she said that she likes to sit back and watch people and see where the power lies and stuff like that. And then she was pissed off that she wasn't part of these groups that were forming because she was sitting back. And I was like, you... Not that you created this, but this is something that you were happy to take advantage of. But when you're being left out of decision, also like 5 people, like it's not, you're in the majority.
But she did the same thing that everyone else did this episode, which was play too hard too soon.
Yeah.
It's like, don't like
go with a few votes.
Go with something. First week, I would just be like, I would not be throwing out any names. I'd be waiting to hear one. And then I'd just be like, okay.
Great idea. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. You just wait.
And also, like, being on the bottom of the pack when it's this big is great because you get leverage to flip to other alliances all the time. So, it was very weird. And also, she wasn't throwing a name out there. So, it's not like she was pissed off at someone that wanted to leave and they weren't listening to her. She was just upset that she didn't get to make the choice.
Yeah.
But, again, maybe the Coven girls... I don't know, it's that active listening thing. Instead of like going off the 4 of them, it's like bring her maybe that effort wasn't happening and then she was getting really bristly about it.
I feel like it was just like an age thing with the Coven, right? Like she's a little bit older than most of the Coven girlies, and so maybe naturally they just didn't bond because they were talking about like
TikTok,
brat and TikTok, and Indy was like, "What? I'm a mum or whatever," and so I feel like it was just like a natural exclusion. It wasn't like thing, but the Coven were open. They were like, sure, you're more than welcome. When she came and had her whinge, they were like, great, welcome on board. We need the numbers. And then she went and did those girls so dirty,
and she was so like it was a very spiraling kind of anxiety thing where she was like grabbing onto Rich and the boys for safety. Because she didn't feel safe, I think. But then, like, you're in the majority alliance. Like, even if you're at the bottom of that alliance, you're not going to get blindsided when they need your number.
Yeah.
So it was...
she done fucked it up.
Yeah.
Kent is giving Alex Perry vibes.
Oh, my God.
With that Botox.
Yeah.
And that shiny forehead.
I mean, it's giving millions of dollars.
Also, what is this outfit he's wearing. It's like a very long, low singlet top, which from like circa fucking 2014.
I don't know. It was
Like,
weird.
remember
didn't
that
he have a
look?
jacket? Didn't he have a business jacket on as well?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's a pilot.
Yeah. I'm really glad that the praying mantis got stomped.
Oh, that he was so many animals in these first 3
First
episodes.
he was a Komodo dragon.
Also, like, obscure, and when he's like, oh, a little bite, and then the toxin sets in, blah, blah, blah. I was like,
the editing on that was
Oh my
impeccable
God.
when they were like, and there was like cutting to Miles just being like, la la la, I'm a fun girl.
I have
And then it was
polka
like,
dot aura.
It was like White Lotus.
yeah. And him being like, oh, but it's too late. The Komodo's taken a nibble and the toxin setting in. Like, I was like, way to like
He's
show
so-
how much of a toxic person you
Yes,
are.
and it's like him self-producing. He's like
Yeah.
giving the like
He had a team.
editors exactly
He
what
had
they
a team
want.
of writers. He had a team of writers coach him going in and be like, "These are all the animals that you need to say you
Fire
are."
that team. Yeah, like the Joker from that other scene, or the Golden God, but you're going to be the praying mantis. It's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's just pulling
How'd
them
that
out of a
go?
hat. He's pulling them out of a hat.
He workshopped it with his branding
Oh
team.
my god.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
and
my god.
clearly wanted to be a villain because villains stick around a really long time, but then
Yeah.
forgot that also people don't like you if you're the villain and you get the boot.
Then we get the challenge that now she's like, I'm so good at puzzles, which is never what you say.
And it was also him. He, like I said, he to begin with, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do the puzzle because this climate's getting to me." And they're like, "But are you good at puzzles?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm really good at puzzles."
So good. And JLP tells everyone that we're pulling our heavy, thick snakes through the tide hole.
Just pull that. They're just hauling their snakes
Haul
around.
those snakes in.
Just love a heavy snake. Kill a python.
And then the puzzle happens, and it's like, girl, where was the puzzle?
Also, like, you know, doing puzzles under pressure, but like not a great time generally. But have a practice, have a method.
But
He
he's
was
a
literally
salesman.
picking up her pieces that she had laid
Throwing
down,
them on the ground.
and also like putting them backwards so you can't even see them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you know, brains stormed ahead, and like the puzzle was really coming together. Indy was really
Yeah.
Two puzzles. She was really good. This first one
Indy was
as
good.
well. They worked out what it was. They saw the S and they're like, oh, brains. Brawn had an opportunity to come from behind, seeing what they were doing, and
Come from behind with the heavy snakes.
the heavy snakes. But then it was a giant flub because you had one person trying to do a puzzle and the other person sweating and turning the blocks upside down.
Yeah. Brains take it because of Nash's fumble. And then,
But, I mean, the two witches completed the puzzle.
yeah, exactly. It was witch on witch, witch on witch action. Over at Brawn, then Nash is just full chaos. He's like decided it's Candy, which is Delulu. He's acting like I'm running this game because of the idol, and I was like, the complete opposite. But sure,
You have to, if you walk back into camp on day one with an idol, you have to play that idol if you go to tribal. Like,
it's like you don't need it yet. There's no,
Yeah.
you don't have a target on the back. There is 12 people in your
No.
tribe. Like, chill
Wouldn't the
out.
smarter, like, if you wanted to make that play and you find an idol so
Yeah.
early, wouldn't it be better to try and fucking make a fake idol and wear that around camp and then it's not real?
True.
Like,
No,
you know what I
he's not
mean?
that- yeah.
Like, he's not that savvy. But, like, yeah, and when he was, like, his reasons for not liking Candy, wanting Candy to go, was basically that he didn't like her and didn't like her social game. It's like, so I think you just don't like this tiny little hot woman that probably doesn't have a lot of time for your ego right now.
I think it's discrimination against people with stripper names. Like, seriously. Easy targets.
Yes, easy targets.
Anyway, Skater Dad is like, oh, he's not cocky enough to play the idol. He's not going to play it. Let's just get him out. Which I was like, I thought
you'd
he
be
was
stupid.
right.
You'd be stupid not to split the vote
Yes.
on him and have the majority on him, because if he didn't play the idol, he's going out with the idol, which is great gameplay. And if he does play the idol, it's not in the game anymore, and you have a chance to find it in the next couple of days.
Yeah, so they want to split it on Ursula. Is that right?
yes.
And then Zen outs this plan because
Yeah.
he's a fucking genius. And then Nash is like, and it all kicks off.
And poor everyone in Nash's alliance that they don't even want to be in that alliance. Like Ursula's like, I don't want to be associated with you. Her body language sometimes when he was talking to her, she could have just turned away and walked into the woods. Like she was just, she did not want to be part of this alliance.
Lifting.
And how damaging would that be for your reputation to be like openly above table, forced into this alliance with this person that thinks they're controlling the game. Like that, yuck. Vote strong.
Yeah. And at Tribal, my girl Paulie is like, hello, we're going to flush that idol.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Duh.
You flush him. And I think Nash was like, oh, I have not watched this show before.
It's like he forgot how the immunity idol works. It's like just by wearing it, he'll be immune.
So he ends up playing it,
Yeah.
but he didn't need to.
No.
Because Candy got the majority of the votes
Well,
anyway.
and that's because, but what was a little bit sinister about that is it because he bullied Morgan and DJ dancer, I'm forgetting their names already. Kate. DJ Kate. He bullied them.
Yes.
Like it was full on.
Yeah.
If you don't side with me, I'll turn against you. And when you're already a little bit nervous, because clearly the two of them are maybe a little pair, it kind of spooked them to think that, that is the majority. I better go with it then. And that's why poor Candy ended up getting the chop, is because he muscled his way to get those votes.
I mean, it's probably for the best that he used it, because now it's gone. Because if he had it again next time, they would just go him again. And he'd still be a threat. But he got rid of it now, and now they all just think he's stupid.
Yeah.
Which could have been his game, but I don't think it was.
No.
Episode 2 was called The Praying Mantis. Stunning.
That slow-mo of like the charcoaly lip.
Yeah. And oh my God. And
that was also witchy. Like
that was
sucking,
witchy. Him,
like sucking
every finger. Yeah. It was weird. We meet super hottie Kaelan.
So he's my babe of the season.
The butt on him.
Ugh.
The dump truck on Kaelan.
Like,
wow.
His lats as well. Like he's
a thick boy.
But he, again, so Max is the annoying dog from the pound. He's a really cute Labrador or like a golden retriever. Like he just...
Yeah, he's got Labrador energy.
Like straight away. And he's got a little lisp. Like everything.
The lisp held me.
Everything
so
that I'm like, this is what a hot man is. He's hot. And he also is doing a PhD, guys.
Hot.
On like environmental shit. I was like...
Hot. He's a hot nerd. Yeah. He's like talking about... As soon as he started talking about drones in Antarctica, I was like, hard.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy's...
Feet in the air.
I was like...
Take me on the beach.
This guy is hot. His little coconut bar. He's like, we've got raw coconut and we've got...
that was so cute. It was a whole bit.
I was like, sorry?
It's also committing to the bit. Like he had different drinks. It was making jokes.
Kiss me.
Levity. Yeah.
Cutie.
Such a cutie.
Cutie.
And he's from Queensland, right? I think.
I don't know.
He gives Queenslander energy.
He does a bit, yeah. Loving the dump truck. Over at Brawn.
Also in Speedos as well. Speedos tick. So this is the thing. Brains wasn't in Ep 1 enough because I didn't get to see Kaelan in Speedos.
It was all about Zen
Yeah.
in Ep 1 and Nash. Over at Brawn, Nash continues to be insane. There's that awkward shot of him like trying to adjust his like board shorts or whatever, and they're like, you need a G-banger, Nash. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, and he also doesn't realize how much he's on the social outs.
Because he's like trying to intimidate Zen. He's like, you flipped. And Zen's like, well, yeah, I did. And I'm like, you are in no position to like threaten this guy. No. You could have gone last night. You should be like tail between your legs.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry that I didn't include you or give you a voice. And like, yeah, I know.
And then we get the Praying Mantis storyline. Kent is going for Miles. It's an obsession. He's obsessed. Like, is he in love with Miles? What's going on?
He's obsessed with his stripper Dungeons & Dragons twink.
Or is it just good old-fashioned Aussie racism? Because I'm like, honey, why are you so obsessed with Miles?
Australians, it's well documented that Australian Survivor has a whiteness problem.
Yes.
But I also think he doesn't... So he went in there wanting to be the super fan, and then Miles was out super fanning him, I think, as well.
Oh, really?
A little bit is the vibe I got, because he's like, he's always talking strategy, and he knows so much about the game. He's a threat.
I think he's looked at the promos from last year, where it was all like, Ferris v Kirby, and I
Yeah.
think in his mind he's like, I need to make a iconic rivalry,
Yeah.
and then I'll get more screen time. So I think this is the kind of guy he is. I reckon he's
Yes.
like, I'll go for Miles, and then they'll put us all over the promos. It'll be Miles v Kent, which they did.
Yeah.
But honey, it only lasted
I
one
mean,
night.
also, is it a rivalry if the other
The
person
person doesn't give a fuck.
you're not on their radar? They don't
does
think
not
about
care.
you. Like for you, it's like a rivalry. It's like day
Yeah.
5 of my rivalry. For him, it's day 5 on the beach.
Because the Ferris Kirby rivalry was delicious. Like they respected each other.
But they were big
Yeah.
players, and they saw each other for what it was at very early onset.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to force that energy, and it's not happening. Ugh.
Laura is kind of giving cult leader at this point.
I know.
And it's great.
They're holding hands. They're giving blessings. They're
Yeah.
breathing in the jungle.
And Ali, who's the AI girly, she's
Yeah.
like, I can tell she's not really that into it.
Yeah.
But she'll go along.
Yeah. She, again, another like in the background person that I was like, oh wait, I think you've got the mustard to go a long way, because there's been a few times where people have been talking to her one-on-one. So even though she's part of the Coven, she has these like through lines to the boys a little bit.
Yeah, she's playing well, I
Yeah.
think, from the little we've kind of seen.
Yeah.
We get Rich tells us that he's not here to fuck spiders.
Ugh.
Which I'm like, Simone, what's that line back?
I know.
Thank you very much.
Iconic Australian line. You don't get to use it.
Exactly. He also tells us that he's a self-proclaimed fun guy, which I was like,
No.
no one fun ever says that
They're fun.
Yeah, no.
So, do you know what you are? You're not a cool guy if you're calling yourself the fun guy.
I'm the fun guy. We get a reward challenge with a floating puzzle, which I quite like.
I like the. Also, the Survivor producers must be so happy that drones exist, because they get so many hero shots of the drone, and
cool.
and the end of this puzzle, I was like, that was a good drone
Good shot. Good drone shots.
Yeah.
And you could actually see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to win a choice between one big fish or a fishing kit.
Yes.
Of course, Nash is responsible for fucking up the challenge once again. So Brains win. And then we get, Rich being like, oh, nah, take the big fat fish. And it's like, oh.
I mean, like, I get his point, like, oh, you'll never catch enough fish, da-da-da. But it's also about, like, longevity in the game, so that when there is less people, the tiny little fish, like, everyone can have a tiny little fish.
But then cut to the dump truck just, like, rocking up in camp with,
my
like,
God.
all the fish. And I was like, this guy could not get
any hotter. He's literally, like providing.
He's Aussie.
But he also has that, like, that really hot provider trait. Like,
But he's not a douchebag.
No, he's doing that because he likes everyone and he wants everyone to be well fed.
Yeah.
He's not doing that being like, and now everyone is playing into my hands.
This is now a Kaelan appreciation podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with
I
that.
can't. I'm
Such a dreamboat.
Do you know what will happen, which is what happens most survivors, particularly Australian survivors, because Speedos, is I get really attached to the one or two hotties, and when they leave, I'm like, oh, I can't believe they let that
Disgusted.
happen. They'll save George 6 times in a season, but they won't save
Who's
him.
your hottest of all time?
That's really hard.
I think mine is Sean, the horse.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's an absolute
Like,
babe. A mountain
wow.
of a man.
But he's kind of too pretty. I like this season that no one's pretty. They're all kind of a bit rough around the edges. It's a rough trade this season.
It really comes down to their personalities though too, because sometimes
totally.
I remember like Simon was so hot in his speedos all the time, but sometimes he'd be such an asshole to people that I'd be like,
Simon,
Yeah.
Mary, what a kitty.
Yeah.
No, but Simon's like, he's good chat though. Like,
Yeah.
he's kind of a bit shit, but
but he also liked being a rat. He also liked being a rat bag.
He had a good
same
attitude.
with Alex last season as well.
Oh,
As that went on a little bit more and more, I liked him more because he was a bit more silly. He was in on the joke. Really,
and then he got his dick out on OnlyFans. So we loved that. Yeah.
I mean, as an aficionado of OnlyFans,
Yes.
I did appreciate.
I
appreciated the Australian reality TV highway to the OnlyFans. Again, that was giving MAFS as well.
That was straight MAFS.
like the MAFS carryover.
Yeah.
MAFS is taking over all Australian reality TV.
It is actually like the forefront. Like every other show is just trying to be MAFS, let's be honest.
Because they want unhinged personalities doing wild things.
That will at some point be on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that business model.
Just drop trowel.
Exactly. Corinne, who I love. She's also a fantastic character. Yes. We didn't get too much of her this week, but from what I got, she's like a solid Coven member. I think she's actually like co-piloting the Coven with Laura.
Yeah.
She's got her head screwed on. She refers to their shelter as the pig pen.
The pig pen. And it looked shit. Like and the fact the girls wanted to do a working bee and then Rich was a fucking petulant little bitch.
Nah,
it's a one day off. It's a one day off.
Driver.
And he was literally stage whispering, which isn't quiet, as the girls were doing it around him. Oh, it's on one day off. I just wanted to lie on the beach.
We were just doing coconuts, busting nut after nut.
So also by this stage it was like day 5 or 6. So they have had rest days as well. And I was like, if sleeping in this shitty shelter every night is crap, putting in a couple of hours work on a beautiful beach is okay. Fucking suck it up.
He's like, it's not Grand Designs. I'm like, honey, like just have you seen this show before?
I
like
know.
If you don't help with the shelter, like people will
also like
get rid of you.
Sleep on the fucking beach in the day and the night if that's what you want to do. You want to relax? Go do that.
Yeah.
And what the girls, the little like leaning teepee, the woven roof, I was like, yes, Coven.
It was great.
Yes.
The Coven are doing everything, much like in life. Women are doing all of the work.
Poor Karen is clearly pissed at that. She's like, high-powered surgeon, probably encounters a lot of like misogyny and dickhead men in her life. And she's like, I have come all the way to Samoa to be on a reality TV program and I'm still doing the same shit.
Totally. Totally. And she's like, uses this as an opportunity to say Rich needs to go, which I was like, yes, honey.
And again, it goes to show like he must be like, we're seeing the bits where he's like quite annoying, but I was like, how annoying is he being? Because they are throughout all the episodes, the boiler pot on like members of the Coven being increasingly pissed and Rich. It's like reaching fever point. It is wild.
It's so good. And the girlies are just like, lock it in. Indy makes Max a hat with some quite talented
found
materials.
Materials.
Found materials
challenge.
Natural materials challenge.
It's giving early seasons Project Runway. I thought that was really cute. But then again, it reminded me that the hat should never have been burnt in the first place.
Yeah.
I also thought it was like particularly malicious. Like, because you don't go in with a lot of stuff. You know, you got a jumper and a pair of socks and like, and to burn someone's fucking hat day one is.
Yeah. All right. Russell
Motor Dragon.
Trying to be, they do a minute challenge. It's like a big wheel. They have to unspool a bigger wheel, which looked quite dangerous. Yeah. I was like, someone's going to fly off
and break an ankle.
Exactly. And then they had to collect some sandbags and throw the sandbags.
They love sandbags.
And there was that one dad, I think Ben is his name. He was piffing those things.
Ben is the hairy hot dad.
The hairy hot dad.
Yeah.
Woof.
Him
piffing those sandbags, I was like, yes.
Yeah, do that to you.
Yeah.
You're a sandbag.
Throw me at a tile. It was a nail biter, but Brawn take this one. So we're seeing Brains at the second tribal.
And you know what? Going back to Brains versus Brawn thing, it allows the producers to stack the challenges a little bit, because this was a very Brawn heavy athletic challenge. There was no puzzle. There was no thinking.
It was piff and stuff.
It was piff and stuff. It was rolling stuff. Like, so on the onset, sometimes you're like, well, the Brains have this one, or the Brawn have this one. But again, you know what it gives? It gives those fucking slow-mo hero shots when like they throw something and it like lands and you get the swelling music.
This is where we get Miles, who is giving... Miles is like Sam Campbell.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm starting Operation Play It Cool. I'm like, you sound like Sam Campbell right now. You're channeling.
When it's like, Operation Play It Cool. And then he's like sitting at the camp being like...
Yeah.
I'm playing it cool.
Guys, anyone want to... Yeah. Anyone want to role play? So cute. All the little montages of Miles like having fun around camp. I'm like, this is my kind of girl.
Yeah, and I don't know. People have said that he's annoying and stuff in some of the little asides and obviously Kent finds him quite annoying. But I was like, like quirky people are fun. You don't have to you don't have to block them out. You're not on public transport. He's not like talking about God on public transport or something weird at you.
Exactly.
Like just lean in and have a little bit of fun with someone that wants to have fun.
Yeah. We learn about the VB Alliance. Love this. So who is it? It's Logan, Rich, and Laura.
Yeah.
They're all from Victoria.
Yeah.
They love a VB.
Yeah. And again, another person that's just claiming these alliances without really consulting the people in the alliance.
Yeah. And then and outing them at Tribal.
At Tribal.
I'm like, keep the alliance names. I know we love Channel 10 love a branded alliance. The Spice Girls.
the Coven. I mean,
but it's like shush.
The Coven is so good that when he was like the VB Alliance, I was like, that's not beating the Coven, man.
No, it's not. But then we get the indie moment where she fucks her game. Well and truly, she goes up to Max and Rich and she's like, I'm being fucking serious, you guys. I will puri your asses if you fucking fuck me. And I was like, whoa. And do you know what? A switch went off in Rich's head and he did not like being threatened. I think he said... Especially not by a woman. Especially not by a black woman.
He was like... He was not here for it. And I was like, damn, you've signed your death warrant and you didn't realize. You were trying to put like force behind this. I wish you'd just sat in the pocket for a vote or two and then could do some of that kind of stuff.
Unfortunately, it is a social game. So it's like if you're playing with misogynist douchebags, you do have to kind of like Parvati style, like play dumb, play dumb.
Play the girl that's like on a date, so
your
interested
values need to be
their...
parked, unfortunately, for this game. But I was a bit like, all of America is rooting for you, Indy. Like we were literally like, we want you to succeed. But I think she just felt like pushed in a corner or something.
And I think you were right. She was on the social outs a little bit. And was probably just feeling that on all angles. The boys wouldn't have had time of day for her. Yeah. The Coven, being a little bit younger, she would have felt a little bit out of sorts. So she didn't even have a person really. But then again, like we don't see what we don't see. But it's like, make yourself have a person or say to like someone, I don't have a
exactly.
Miles is on the outs with the boys. Have a kooky spooky time together.
Exactly. Yeah. Karen is like, Indy girl, why are you fucking us? Like the girls find out and they're like, we wanted to help you.
Do you know what pissed them off? That Rich delivered the information thinking that he was a white knight, and they were like, fuck off. It would for the Coven. It was eye rolls all round. Yeah. Everyone was being shit. And then at Tribal, I loved this Tribal. So it was like, VB Alliance, he's kind of outed by Rich. And then Kent goes, rogue.
Guess what, everyone? I burnt the hat. And they're all
burnt
like...
my best friend's hat.
And instead of like, wow, they're like, why? And
the girls...
I hate Miles. I want to pin it on Miles. And I was like, okay.
The girls were... I think Karen even whispered like, who would do that? Like, it was...
Yeah.
And again... I don't think the boys are thinking that smartly.
No.
For a brains tribe, not realizing that all the women are working together and meeting up together. Like they're like, they're just washing their hair in the sea. They're doing lady business. Like it's like these women are dancing around you, and you have no idea.
We get like White Lotus music while they vote. It was like, and then Indy cops a lot of votes. There's a few on Miles, but like not really.
No,
who else voted
it would have
Miles?
It would have been Kent and some of the boys. I think because Kent was calling the shots there.
Sure, but Indy cops
them
all, and I get it. She pissed off multiple alliances, which for the first Tribal, not a good move. Episode 3 was called Stoic. Foreshadowing for our bro Zen.
Also, the word stoic in that episode was
stoic. He's always stoic.
misused a little bit
Definitely.
sometimes. I was like,
They should have used the word sublime. Or he's always sublime.
oh my God.
That bro. Yeah, Lil Zen. He's been cooking. He shows us he's been cooking
broccoli and chicken. Oh no, wait, it's rice and beans.
Rice and beans. Over at Brains, Max is like, WTF, mate, about Kent and the hat. They're all a bit confused about that. We meet Logan, who is the wag. Love her.
That intro with the other fellow wags, and then she's like, in the wag community, there's social hierarchies and
The wag world looks stressful.
And,
not gonna lie.
and when she was like, I love getting dressed up, and then they show shots of her on a red carpet in full glam versus like on the beach no glam.
Yeah.
I was like, you look like a different, like she's
It was a different
gorgeous
way-
in
yeah,
the way.
gorgeous
But I was
way-
like,
totally.
the world that you occupy on this red carpet or drinking champagne in the stock footage with your friends, you actually look so different in these moments compared to you on the beach being pissed off at Rich.
Then we meet douchebag of the episode, AJ. Can we just... I'm sorry, mate. Like, I'm sorry. Something about his presentation this episode did not land with me.
So at first I was like, oh, who's this like cute
thought he was
dorky?
cute.
I was like, cute dorky guy.
No.
And then again, serious journalist, I went on the Wikipedia
Tell
to
me
find out more
everything.
about it. No, but as soon as I found out he was a professional poker player, I was like, what?
The math, isn't mathing. He's
then-
like, I've won $100 million playing poker. Okay, how much have you lost? Is that a net gain? I don't think so. Because if you had net gained $100 million, you would not be.
Wouldn't
here,
he be
sir.
saying in all his confessionals, I'm a multi-millionaire? Like
that,
that.
yeah. He's got tickets on himself. I don't know. He just really rubbed me the wrong way.
I love games and I love tabletop games and I love games like Survivor. Poker isn't a very me thing.
No, it's
and
bro-y,
whenever
it's
I hear
douchey.
like people are professional poker players, I'm like,
I'm like, oh, you're on the
thing?
spectrum. Great.
You can count.
Cut to loaded fries. This challenge was great. I
these early rewards where they've gone maybe a week without food
and it's like loaded fries.
and they're like losing their shit.
The spread was insane. It was like my heaven. Like they all had a bowl of chippies, and then it was like pulled pork, guac, like every sauce.
So when he lifted the colosh and I was like loaded fries, I was like, oh, that's a bit sad. And then I always think about Survivor food on the island. Like, what's it gonna be like? What's the reheating situation?
Yeah.
But when they pulled up at the fries bar, I was like, they didn't say it was a fries bar.
It was a bar. It was chic.
Yeah.
I want to recreate it next week, one night during the week. Like make my own loaded fries bar.
so
But you're right.
cute.
It's like they haven't been starving long enough.
No.
It should have just been like, I don't know, an apple or something. A protein
Well,
bar.
don't they usually like
Zen.
give salt and pepper and spices, this kind of early
Probably.
reward thing? But instead they're like, here's some fries.
Over at
Also
Jeff
shitting
Probst-
yourself on the beach
Jeff-
after not eating for a
ex-
while.
Oh my God. Can you imagine the loaded fries? Shit. But no, Jeff Probst over on American Survivor, he's giving them like, it's like, you've won like a paper clip. Like it's literally, you know.
Use it as a flint.
Yeah. And they're like really fucking them over there. Who wins this one? Brawn.
Brawn on the beach with their fries.
Because we get Paulie.
Yeah.
I loved this. Paulie gets the map on the thing. And
Dabbing of the lip.
honey, she fucking served.
Amazing.
And how smart to open up to someone about, because Noonan clocks him. Noonan's really smart. And she's like, what did you do? He's like, I was just hanging up my jumper down the beach. She's like, girl.
Well, they're tight.
Yeah.
We haven't explored the storyline of their relationship, but again, in those little, particularly with Nash being an absolute thunderous personality, the two of them are often near each other, being like, "This bitch."
But he was so smart. He's like, oh, I found a clue, but he's actually already gone and snatched the idol. Like the queen she is.
This is what you do. Some truth to build a relationship.
Breadcrumb. And then if he wants, he's left it so later on he can go, oh my God, I found the idol. You know, like he can tell her about that later if he wants. But at the moment he's keeping her like semi in the tent, which is smart.
And it also means that he gets to test her test her relationship with him, because if she outs that he found a clue, still not everyone knows that he has the idol. But if she covers for him and it gives him a reason to go and look for the idol, he knows they're tight. Like, it was a very good play from Paulie.
At that challenge, though, Zen fucked his finger, and he's like, I don't care, I'm stoic.
It's giving Drag Race. It's giving Eureka's knee. Like, the challenge was... though also, the two Speedo hotties colliding.
It was dump truck and hip hop.
Yeah. And it was
hot.
The smack of their bodies afterwards, they had like red marks across
Those
themselves.
challenges would terrify me. Like, imagine they're like, now you've got to like wrestle someone and we're filming you. I'd be like, oh,
not in a sexy way.
Can we do it in a fun way? Like, I don't want to get anyway.
And the finger thing that happened, like looking at those, the fingering. That should have been the name of the episode, not stoic.
Fingering.
The fingering. The fingering. He was just asking for that to happen.
Yeah.
Though. Like, it just...
That's why it's like bravado. We'll always do this. Like, chill out. So he rocks up at the immunity challenge in like a full cast, and he's like, I thought he was joking because he's the way he delivered. He's like, oh, I've been pulled from the game. I was like, oh, okay. But he looked like he was upset.
He had been crying. He had little red eyes.
Yeah.
We'll probably see him come back. Like, he
Do you
has
think
the
she'll
kind.
be on season?
He has the kind of personality that he made enough of an impact. I think he looks good on camera in a Speedo.
Yes.
He definitely left before the storylines that he could have happened, and I think they would bring him back, and that adds to like the underdoggy, like hip hop Eminem 8 Mile.
I'm all for him coming back. Why not?
Yeah.
At this challenge, my dream daddy PD gets on the slingshot, shows us how it's done.
Busts nut after nut.
Nut after nut is busted, and it sends Brains back to tribal. So we get another just like chaotic scramble on the beach at the Brains tribe.
It's like the amount of times people said, this is what it's going to be, don't waver, and then they wavered. It was wild. And
AJ, so I think this is why I'm hating AJ so much, because he's trying to go down gender lines. He's got in his mind, he's like, oh, the girls have the Coven, so therefore we need to like retaliate. I'm like, why don't you join the Coven? Like, I don't know. It's like, be smarter. Like, don't just be like, let's take them out.
When the Coven took out Indy, and they know that Kent doesn't like Miles, and maybe Kent's a bit socially awkward or whatever with some of the boys. That Miles is a bit socially awkward with some of their boys. Why aren't you bringing him into the Coven? He plays D&D. He's gonna he can pretend to be a witch.
I know. Justice for Miles. No, but AJ's annoying. He says to us, "Oh, I just want to show off and make a big move." I'm like, "Yeah, get in line, honey. There is so many other people here doing the same thing."
Also, these aren't big moves.
He says some things as well where he's like, I thought there was going to be smart people out here. I'm like, oh.
I know.
And now you just
he actually said a couple of times, and it made me go, ugh, don't think like that. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Where he said, I didn't expect to be the smartest person on the beach and stuff. And I was like, that is a surefire way to make yourself be unlikable. And you're also going to miss things. Like, if you think that everyone is not as smart as you, it means the knife can get you. Like, they're going to stab you in the back because you won't see it coming.
Well, he's messy. He's messy as fuck. He tries to convince Max and Ali and the Coven to like vote for Logan, and I'm like, why are they going to vote for their own alliance member this early? And also, it's like they're all just like, nah, mate. And then so he backpedal when they say no. He has to backpedal and be like, can you not tell anyone that I said that thing? And it's just like, it's the Streisand effect.
So them. Yeah,
so nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Don't put me on Google Maps.
Yeah.
But the whole lead up to that with him and Ali. So Ali thinks that he's going to throw Rich's name out there.
Yeah,
and it felt like two people on a date connecting but misunderstanding all the signals. Because Ali fully was like, "I'm ready to get rid of Rich now," and it was her best mate. And then the wag was in conversation, so he couldn't drop the name at times as well. Like, it was a clusterfuck. Like it was.
It was great TV.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, AJ. I did appreciate that.
And
you being messy.
And he went from being this cute, lanky boy, like so tall.
Yeah, he was cute.
He was cute in the background.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, he's going to be a data scientist or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he was like the equivalent of a brains jock being like, I'm a poker player. I'm the smartest person on the beach.
Good. He was MAFS. All the guys on MAFS like, I'm so smart. I'm so strong. And Kent is the same. At Tribal, Kent is like tooting his own horn yet again. They speak in code about AJ. I was low-key hoping for an AJ blindside.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, didn't.
I think he's put a very big target on his back.
Yeah, he's outed himself as being sneaky and like trying to meddle.
Yeah. And it's also not good in Australian Survivor to be the sneaky person early on, because the mateship floats into the beach and everyone's like, sneaky people aren't allowed to be mates.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
But we got rid of smug ass Kent, which made me very happy. His face when they started reading out his votes, I was like yes.
His dreams are evaporating.
And AJ was spared by the girlies, so
he could come crawling back to them.
True.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Only
Maybe
time
this
will
week.
tell. Maybe next week. Thank you so much for joining me, Max.
That's all right.
What a lovely start to the season. It's going to be, if this is how it's starting.
I know. Where's it going to go?
Where the fuck is it going to go?
Coven all the way.
We're Team Coven, clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
Hopes and predictions for the rest of the season.
I really, I want Leggy Morgan to do really well.
Yes.
And also DJ Kate. So I'm kind of wanting them to become part of the Coven is what I want.
Like a merged Coven.
A merged Coven.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like a lot of the girls in this season maybe have a similar vibe where they could form the much wanted but never comes about Girls Alliance, because that happened like in these first 3 episodes, Girls Alliance and then broken straight away. So I'm hoping for like a post-merge Coven 2.0.
I want Paulie in the mix there too, because
I know
I'm backing Paulie hard. We've never really we need a gay win. And I think Paulie is playing very well. I was very impressed by the Idol situation.
The prop manipulation of like dabbing one's lips to look at the map and then just like scrunching it up. I was like, this is
beautiful.
Clever, man.
So I'm backing Paulie.
Same.
Well, I'll see you soon, doll.
Ciao. Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Cringe is Real with me, Sam Cremian. If you would like to support the show, rate, review, share, and tell your friends about it. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the show notes.